Creator's been doing things like that, then he can definitely go ahead and pull out something like a mass Roach all-in. So we'll have to see, guys. They are starting the map. It is time.
Game number 2 here between Gamania.Sen and Creator Prime. The map is going to be a Cloud Kingdom. Jovarsar and Artosis casting this pretty awesome best of 3 here. Let's get straight into this game. And spawning, ladies and gentlemen, over here in the bottom left position of the map as our red Zerg player representing Taiwan. What will he be able to do? Gamania.Sen, who will be facing off against the Protoss boss in the top right corner. 1 game up in this best of 3. Looks like tournament life on the line. What will he do? It is Creator Prime.
Creator with his early drop down. A lot of people didn't expect that, but you know what? He fought Seed. Pretty tough deal right there, for sure.
Exactly, man.
And he hasn't had the easiest time through this bracket, but here he is. He's gotten pretty darn deep. I think a lot of people put him in their top 4 for this tournament. Where did you put him? Did you put him in your top 4?
I put him in the top 4. My top 4, but only just.
Okay.
So it's
he
like,
was like your last.
Yeah. He was like one of the best players in the tournament, but in terms of winning it outright, I still had him down as like a dark horse for winning it outright.
Okay.
But still definitely up there or thereabouts. So I would say like 4th or 5th is where I put him.
All right, fair enough. Yeah. I put him. I think I put him about 3rd to 4th, right around there. I'm like, well, you know what? I think most of this tournament's going to be decided off PvP rather than PvZ.
Yep, sure.
And his PvP is really solid, so I gave him a pretty high spot up there. But I mean, we'll see where he actually delivers. Looks like we are just going to see standard builds from the sky. Of course, Sen going to go probably for 3 hatch. Creator going to be a Nexus first into Forge.
Yep, and a little bit interesting with the dynamic on this map as well, because with the fast 3 hatch, the distance between the natural expansion and the 3rd base sometimes can get a little bit awkward for a Zerg player. So you can see like Protoss is maybe, for example, in these spawning locations, putting a pylon down on the bottom of the map somewhere, trying to catch Sen out of position with some units so he can warp in some Zealots and maybe pick off the 3rd. A little bit, not necessarily easier, but a little bit sort of more convenient for Protoss to do that on this map just because of the way it's laid out. At this level, though, I'm not sure Sen would fall for something like that, but it's definitely something he has to have in the back of his mind when this map is the one that pops up.
Certainly.
Yeah.
Well, we do have the Forge on the way, the 2nd pylon, everything looking completely standard here. Of course, getting the latest cannon possible. In fact, the Lings probably won't even make a beeline for the base. I mean, that Overlord, it sees that the cannon has just started, rather, but you know you're not going to do anything with that. May as well start scouting out, try to find wherever the hidden probe is from Creator.
That's a good point, actually, because there was a time in PvZ where the matchup was sort of like just starting to get figured out to the point where it was now, where you saw a lot of Zergs really beeline with the Zerglings almost every game, just in case the cannon isn't quite done in time, and they might, in some cases, they might even make like an extra 2 or 4 Zerglings and sack 1 or 2 of them just to get 3 or 4 into the main. But we don't see that happening at all anymore. What's your view on, what's your insight into why Zergs have stopped doing that and whether this is better?
I would say definitely Protosses just have a better grasp on the timing. You know, we're seeing people scout almost always on 9 in this matchup. In which case, you know, either they're scouting on 9 or they're not scouting a lot of the time. And either way, they're going to have it timed out. They know how to deal with those Zerglings because that was so popular. So that's something Protoss has had to deal with. You had to map out the times. And now it's pretty much common knowledge how to get your cannon down based upon how early the pool is.
So now you get situations where the Zergs are like, okay, I'm just going to sit back a bit. I know like Protoss hasn't figured out how to deal with these Lings. So if I know that they know how to deal with it, well, maybe I can squeeze an extra drone or 2 out instead of like trying to go past the cannon. Yeah.
Why make more than those 2, sometimes 4 Lings when you can get that extra drone, knowing that, I mean, they should know how to stop it.
Yep, and we have a Stargate now coming up for Creator Prime.
Yeah, so we should be seeing another gas at least coming up here very, very shortly. Now, will he go right into Robo? Will he go for this very greedy 3rd base that plays out very well against a defensive Zerg? I'm not, I mean, we're just going to have to wait and see. There's no way to tell quite yet, but if he does that, has Sen actually prepared for that? And by the way, Sen went for a normal, quote-unquote, normal gas timing for ZVP, just the 2 gases,
sure.
you know, at the 6:10 to 6:15 mark. So
and a Void Ray is going to be coming out first for Creator here. So that's going to give him a fair bit of a map awareness sort of going into the mid-game here. He'll be able to pick off a couple of Overlords. These scouting ones from Sen are going to be able to glean a bit of information before the Void Ray pops up, but not really that much. And Creator's going to have a little bit more freedom to do what he wants. Sen will have to play just slightly more defensively in the short term because he needs to make sure he knows what Creator is doing if he wants to counter it effectively, and the Void Ray just shuts that down so well.
Yeah. Now, we do have the layer before speed, throwing up another gas as well, so he's going to get his gas mining going quite well. And the Overlord's going to come in and basically see what's going on. It's going to be a Void Ray and then some Phoenixes following it up. So far, looking very much like some other builds we've seen from Creator so far. In fact, even getting his sentries out right away so that they can build up some energy. But will he throw down that Robo, and will he take the quick third base? That's the question.
This is... Creator's probably going to be making a decision on that very shortly indeed. There does indeed go the Robo, and an additional 3 gateways coming out from Creator here. So instead of going straight for that third base, it looks like he might be going for a bit of pressure here on Cloud Kingdom. And, well, especially combined with the Void Rays, a couple of Phoenix popping out as well. This could end up being a pretty nifty little timing for him.
We'll see what kind of damage he can get done. Ooh, targeting down some drones. I love to see Protoss target drones with Void Rays. It's actually surprising how quickly you can kill some of them off. And look at that, Sen. That's a nice save right there. You have to hand it to him. Yeah,
not bad at all. A couple of Spore Crawlers going down as well. He has got +1 missile attacks on the way, and immediately planting down a Spire, ladies and gentlemen, in the main base next to that spawning pool.
This is interesting, because he's getting his Roach speed, he's getting his Roach attack, which means that the Spire is not, in fact, for Mutas, of course. It is going to be for some Corruptors. So this is looking quite similar to some builds that we've seen from Creator. Not as quick Colossus as we saw yesterday, but basically a very similar idea.
This could potentially be huge. A lot of Queens out in the middle of the map right now, and it looks like the Void Ray getting focused on by the Queens there, but the Phoenix able to do such a good job, and 2 Queens going down with a third, frantically running back towards a natural expansion. She's just going to be able to get away with her life there, and Creator just being so effective with these air units early on in the game, just trying to make sure that Sen stays in his base as much as humanly possible, as the Robotics Bay now is about a third of the way complete.
Now, this strategy that we see Creator doing, he's being pretty greedy overall. Okay, he's teched up in 3 different directions. He has Stargate, he has Robo, and he has Twilight, all going at the same time, and a third base, and he's harassing. So this is a pretty greedy build. The fact that he picked off those Queens, so important, because what he's afraid of is an attack coming very soon. He doesn't have a lot of sentries. It would be hard to hold. So this is a good job so far. We'll see if... Is Sen going to get aggressive? He's building some Roaches. He's building some Corruptors. So he definitely could. He definitely could move out and try to be aggressive, but it's not like the crazy Roach Max that would be perfect against this strat.
Yeah, I mean, you could see that, like, for example, the production tab just showed Creator making so much stuff, but his supply wasn't actually going up. He was just busy investing so much in that infrastructure.
Yes.
And that's what the air units are there for. They're really just there to convince Sen that this is not a great time for him to move out, so that Creator can stall for a couple of minutes and get to a point where he can use that infrastructure to benefit him in the long run. Because right now, he's actually, like, super vulnerable if he isn't delaying Sen from moving out across the map. And Sen's actually looking like he wants to get a little bit aggressive here.
And you know what? He is going to get aggressive. He's making Lings. He's getting the Infestation Pit for later on. But this is really good. This is a nice timing. It looks like he has studied up on Creator and the way Creator's been playing, specifically on this map. And he's going to hit this nice timing here. In fact, Creator right now, he only has 2 sentries, so Force Fields aren't going to work well, and his Colossus isn't going to work well, and his Phoenixes as well are not. So,
oh my goodness,
this is really good by Sen. He really knows what he's doing here. Great Force Fields going down.
Immediately taking out that Void Ray as well. The Phoenix effectively useless against this many Corruptors, targeting down the Colossi first, not worrying about the threat of the Phoenix at all, and the second Void Ray barely gets a shot up before it goes down, and Creator's in an awful lot of trouble here. Sen hitting a very sweet timing attack, not going for the Nexus, just making sure the army gets absolutely obliterated. That Colossi lived for approximately 1/10 of a second there, Artos, and the rest of the army will get cleaned up, but a lot of stuff has been lost here.
Yeah, this was a very good attack by Sen. He did a great job. Didn't kill a lot of probes. Only 8 probes actually killed there, but He killed off a lot of the tech. He got his fourth base during